What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. I'm also going to talk about why the market's going to likely see a bigger pullback very soon. But I don't think we're ready for it yet based off what I'm seeing. The market's pullback may take a little bit longer. I'm going to break down exactly what I think is going to happen. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below or sign up with my QR code that's right over here. Moomoo is an amazing global brokerage that consists of many exclusive offers. If you sign up and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. And deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. This offer ends in just 12 hours from now, so please check it out before they run out. Another benefit is that you guys are going to get free data to look at order flow and the options chains for your favorite stocks and ETFs if you sign up. And once again, the offer ends in just 12 hours, so please check it out before they run out. Anyways, with that being said, now we're going to talk about what's happening with the market and my very important theory about what's about to happen. So, right now, I think that the market is getting ready for a big pullback. I still feel like there's going to be a much larger pullback based off what we're seeing. When you look at the 4-hour time frame and these much larger divergences that continue to develop, as SPY goes higher, we keep forming bigger divergences, which tells us there's going to be a much larger pullback. Now, I would like to see SPY lose our 50 EMA 632 for confirmation, but I don't think we're ready for the pullback yet. And here's exactly why. Because when you look at this, okay, what they're doing is they're trying to fool bears. They want the bears to basically they're trying to test bears and toy with them by making them think that the market's about to dump, only for them to launch us right back up. And I think that's what's about to happen. So right here, we got this pump. We dipped all the way down towards 635. We bounced, dipped, bounced, dipped thanks to FOMC. We bounced thanks to big tech earnings. We dipped again. Now we're trying to bounce a little bit. We might try to bounce again for 638 to 640. Once again, near the all-time high. And then eventually we're going to form a top. There's going to be some kind of top forming within a day or two, within the next couple of days. And then once we get to August, I believe there's going to be a substantial pullback, especially when we end up losing 632 to 630. Then I do expect us to start dumping a lot harder. I think we're getting ready for a much larger pullback. I don't think we're ready yet, though. We could still try to bounce to the all-time high and consolidate for some time. Once again, this is going to be fooling a lot of people who think that the market's going to continue to rally forever. It's not going to rally forever. I think the rally just has a couple more days left at most, and then we're going to be looking for a much more substantial pullback, in my personal opinion. So why do I say this? Well, when it comes to the bounce that could be coming if the market wants to retest all-time highs, I would not rule that out as a possibility. We have three catalysts. Number one, we have Apple and Amazon announcing earnings after market close today. Just like how Meta and Microsoft did very well with earnings, they gapped up. It's possible we could see Apple and Amazon try to do that. So do not rule out the possibility of some upside. It's still a possibility, okay? However, we also have President Trump announcing that he wants to extend the trade negotiations with Mexico. The deal is going to have a 90-day extension, and they're going to continue to negotiate with other countries. We're also announcing a South Korean deal. He wants to increase tariffs on India. So lots of tariffs are coming. And right now, we're seeing countries scrambling to make deals before the August 1st deadline. President Trump said he's not backing out of it. So tomorrow is going to be the deadline for the tariffs. That could be very significant. And last but not least, we have unemployment numbers coming out for tomorrow. We're going to see what happens with unemployment. Are we about to see the market take a big hit thanks to this, or is the market going to bounce? We'll just have to wait and see. So, what's my view of the markets? Like I said before, we are still going back and forth between supply and demand like this. But whether or not we see a big dump or pump depends on big tech earnings, President Trump's tariffs coming out tomorrow, and also the unemployment numbers. I theorize we might try to push back up to 638 to 640. Then we're going to see once this forms a top, whether the top is in or not. We're going to form a top very, very soon. Whether the top is in or not, we're going to determine that. But I'm just trying to tell you that we're not going to stay in this range for long. Eventually, in very early August, in the first week of August, we are going to be dumping below 630 most likely. I do expect a much larger pullback like this. I do expect us to dump, but I don't think we're ready yet. We could still push a little bit higher until the time finally comes. So please keep that in mind. We're range bound on SPY. We're in a range for now. We're not ready for the big pullback, but that could come a lot later on. So please keep that in mind as time goes on. For the QQQ, we have resistance around 575 and support down here at 566. As you can tell, we're sort of going back and forth between supply and demand. We're trying to break out. We did see this nice pump thanks to big tech earnings. We dipped a bit. Can the QQQ get one more bounce for like the low 570s? It's possible 574 could be retested, but there's no guarantee we keep on breaking out. There's going to be a top forming one way or another. And then eventually, once the top is in, we're going to be looking for a much larger dump. And we're going to eventually lose 560 in early August or below. So be ready for a much larger pullback. This might try to bounce temporarily for like 572.5 to 574, and we'll see if we end up projecting or not. For the IWM, we're trading sideways. This could try to bounce for basically 222, and we'll see if you reject. We have 222 acting as resistance alongside 223, and we have support down here around 219. This might try to bounce for that 222 area. It's still possible it tries to bounce before we see a much larger pullback and we start to dump back down to 218 or below. Notice that ES is trying to hold around 6,400. That's a critical support. If this holds, we could try to bounce a bit for basically 6,440, and we'll see if we break out higher or if we get a big rejection, so keep that in mind. We might be looking for a move like this, and then we'll see if we get a huge rejection by the time we get to August. So we'll see how high we go. We might even try to retest our highs depending on how things go. They might bring us up and just consolidate like this before we end up dumping because of the range. We have like a double top range for now, so we might bounce a bit. Then we'll see if we get another rejection or not. On NQ, we're trying to hold to 23,500. If that holds, we're looking for 23,680 as our resistance. Then we're going to see if we end up consolidating before we end up dumping. So keep that in mind as time goes on. There might be some consolidation coming. There might be an attempt to bounce temporarily before the market gets ready for a much larger pullback. There might be one more move up. This may just last another day or two, and then I do expect a lot more downside. We have to be very careful with big tech earnings coming. Bitcoin could try to push for 118,000. We'll see if it rejects or not. Tesla's been dipping quite a bit. We're at support, but I am concerned about Tesla because of this head and shoulders, right? We have a left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Could we try to bounce? We need to hold 312. If we hold 312, we could try to bounce a bit, but then the odds will still favor the low 300s as time goes on. So keep that in mind. Could be a small bounce for like 315 to 318. Then we'll see if you reject. But for now, Tesla is still looking quite weak. Nvidia is on an uptrend. We need to get back up at basically 181.5 to bounce, but if we end up losing 178, we're looking for a dump. I'm favoring 181, and we'll see if we reject off. Let's look for a small bounce, and we'll see how it goes. Apple is just consolidating. We're basically stuck between 210 and 207. Might push to 210, and I think we kind of consolidate here. But then it depends on earnings. Earnings might try to push us higher as we're choppy. We're choppy right now, but we could bounce with earnings or we could dump. We'll see how it goes, so be very careful. AMD looking kind of weak. We're going to be looking for a test of 181. If that rejects, we're going to be dipping. I think it might bounce a couple of points, and we'll see how it goes. Coinbase may also be dipping back down to about 375. Not Apple. Amazon may try to push for basically 235. We'll see if you reject. Meta is also at resistance at basically this 780 area. It could try to go a little bit higher if that breaks. I would not rule out 790. Then we'll see if it rejects there. But for now, I could see some more upside. As long as 769 does not fill us. On Google, we're favoring a small bounce. We could be looking for a test of 195, and we'll see if we reject. Microsoft pumped only to dump back down. We're going to be looking for a test of like 544, and we'll see if it rejects. But it might slowly make its way back down towards like the 530 area. It might bounce first before it starts to come down. And finally, the VIX is trying to break out higher. We're going to see if it rejects off this or not. But my honest assessment is that the market has some upside potential. We could try to push a bit higher as time goes on. But this could just be a temporary move up to set us up for a much larger pullback, okay? I'm being 100% blunt about that. There's going to be a big pullback coming in August. August starts tomorrow, so it's going to become very soon. Maybe it starts as soon as tomorrow or in a couple of trading days. But for now, I think the market could bounce a little bit. It could even bounce with big tech earnings. We'll see how that goes. Even if we get a small bounce, I'm not 100% confident that the move is going to last. It might just be a temporary bounce, whether it lasts a day or a couple of days. But then I do once again hold my same view. This whole consolidation, this whole range is just setting us up for a much larger pullback, which is going to be coming in August and the first week of August, in my opinion. Okay, so I hope that's as clear as possible. We may bounce a little bit here, get back up to 638 or so, but there's going to be a bigger pullback coming within a week from now. Within a week, I hold to the same view. My view has not changed. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anyways, I thank you all so much for listening. We don't have confirmation of the big pullback yet. It's going to take some time, but we could try to bounce a little bit. And then later on down the line, in a couple of days or within a week from now, I do expect a much bigger move down. All right. So I hope this information brings you guys value. I thank you all so much for listening, and peace out.